Hey everybody, welcome back to the Complete Game, episode 48. I'm your host, Curt Schilling. He is Garrick Schilling. What's up, G?
What's going on, everybody? How we doing? Just a
A
couple
lot
quick
of
things.
runs scored since we last spoke.
Yeah, yeah. We signed off Friday night, and I was putting up the podcast, and just so happened to see the Rockies post a tweet about this is Coors Field in what seemed like excitement. And the last I checked in, they were down 9-0 after the first inning, uh, to the Pirates. And in what ended up being probably the most exciting game of the year, Rockies came back and won 17-16 with a walk-off home run. Uh, just wild. Um,
Yeah, 5 runs in the bottom of the ninth.
yeah. And then I wanted to ask a little cleanup from Friday. The Cubs and the Orioles played at Wrigley, and Trevor Rogers, shout out him, went 8 innings. Is that technically a complete game if
It
you're
is.
the okay? So
As the
yeah, he
loser?
he deserves a shout out. 8 innings, complete game, one earned run, 4 hits, 8 Ks, and a 1-0 loss, zero
Yeah,
walks.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, oh
So
yeah.
I
Yeah.
figured that one especially for your early days in Philadelphia might deserve a shout out. But and then a couple of guys I wanted to talk about that we were talking about pre-show is Joe and Duran and what is it, Ryan? Is it Ryan Helsley?
Yeah.
Ryan Helsley from the trade deadline. Duran is 2 for 2 in save appearances, and Ryan Helsley in his one appearance struck out all 3 outs. So stellar first outings for both guys in emotional games. The first save appearance for Duran was in a comeback win for the Phillies where he got to do his entrance in front of a proper crowd of Philadelphia
Yeah.
psychos for once, which was cool to watch. And then,
He
yeah, the
closed
Mets
out
had
today,
a,
right? 2-0 today. He closed out.
yep, yep. So two big
Sanchez went eight
spots.
scoreless.
Yeah, yeah. Went 8 scoreless, and then he came in and closed the door. And then on the other side, Helsley was the inning before Mets collapse in the extra innings, so he got a proper introduction to the New York media, I'm sure, being a part of that scrum the next day. And then more recently, the Speedway Classic took place today, which was so I didn't watch it live, but looking at the highlights, the warning track or the not the warning track, excuse me, the home run track being the raceway was awesome. Eli White doubled his home run total from 2 to 4 to lift the Braves to 4-2 win. Uh, and it feels like watching that, it felt like the only win I've seen them have as of late. Austin Riley, who spent time on earlier this month on the IL, went back on the IL diving to stop Ellie De La Cruz from touching home plate, which was a stellar play. But in a season from hell, do you consider that if you're on the Braves? Do you just chalk that up to injuries? And
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
There's
you're
yeah, there's
punting the
not a
season at this point, obviously, right? Because you didn't
yeah,
make any moves at the deadline.
right.
Alex Anthopoulos, I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering that
And
name. The
not plus. Yeah.
president of baseball said he couldn't force a trade at the deadline, which fair. I mean,
Well,
you
that's
don't
good
do that.
damn. Yeah, you don't make a trade just to make it. And they were in kind of a seller's seat, and I'm gonna assume that, like we talked about, and the price he was putting on his assets was too high for the team's buying.
Yeah, like we talked about with starting pitching a little bit too. And then in a more like fun fact oriented thing, the Orioles in that same series against the Cubs started the first three Jacksons in the same game. I thought that was a fun little mention.
Yeah,
They
but even more crazy is this follow up. They
yeah,
actually did some. Yeah,
they had a relay off the wall in right field where Jeremiah Jackson threw it to Jackson Holiday, who relayed it home to Jackson for the actual out too. They made the play successfully. It was awesome. Uh, I saw my favorite bit from that was instead of the Jackson 5, it's the Jackson 3, and when they make a relay, it's easy as ABC. So
God.
I thought that was just corny enough. Becoming a dad this month, it made me laugh.
Right,
So,
right.
um, and then I feel like every time we brought up the Red Sox not being a team that's going to be a threat in the postseason, they shove it right back in our face. They win five
Oh,
straight,
yep.
including a sweep of the Astros at Fenway this weekend. They have the third most home wins of anyone but the Mets and Blue Jays since June 30th. They're 14-2 at home since then. And then, have you seen the green Fenway uniforms they wear, the monster
Yeah,
unis?
yeah.
They're not only 4-0 in those, they have four walk-offs in those uniforms.
Oh, Lord.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes. And
That's one
that
of those,
coincide
like, if you
that whole
find out they're wearing those uniforms 30 minutes before the game and you live near the park, I mean, you got to go to that game, right?
that coincided with the Marlins' first ever sweep of the Yankees, by the way.
Really? I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
first ever sweep of the Yankees. Blue Jays lost today. Yeah, that division is tightening up. I mean, and I said it early on. I don't know that the Red Sox are built to win it all, but this is one of those runs where you might believe yourself to be something than you actually are, and that trumps the talent thing. You get the bunch of guys on a roll, excited to come to the park, feeling good
Hey,
about
Dad.
themselves, jumping out to early leads and doing those things. So, did we just disconnect? We back up?
Hey, you there?
Are you back up?
Yeah, I lost you. I
Yeah,
lost
yeah.
you at, you were saying, like, this is one of those runs.
Yeah, no. So this is one of those runs where a team can find its identity or create one. Uh, they clearly and I gotta think watching Jared Duran, I feel like he's kind of the straw that stirs the drink a little bit from an emotion perspective. You win games like this in games that Crochet doesn't start, and all of a sudden you've got streaks going the other way in a good way. I'm you know the Yankees being swept by the Marlins, and again the Blue Jays lost today, so that division's tightening up, and God bless them. I hope it works out.
There is always a little bit of that with at least growing up and being a Boston sports fan, like where during the championship seasons especially, it feels like there's always one guy, like for you guys, it was Manny who wanted out,
Yeah,
like or was about to be
right.
out, and or Nomar gets traded or something like that, where Boston loves to trade their Tyler Sagans or like their whoever it is, and
Right. They're Bogarts.
Jaron Duran was that guy who was getting talked about left and right for the Padres. You heard him for 3 or 4 different teams near the deadline, and they don't move him. They end up going on this streak and sweeping the first place Astros this weekend at home, and it kind of feels like that sort of what you're talking about. Like this is the time where you nut up or shut up, for better
Yeah.
lack of a better term.
The challenge is they 4 days ago they were 7 back at Toronto, right? Or 10 days ago they were 7 back at Toronto. Now they're 3 back. That's the challenge of overcoming a big lead. Is we talked about earlier when the Tigers went 1-9, and all of a sudden the Royals are the Guardians are on their heels, but they're
That
still 7 back.
yeah,
It takes monumental and more than a 10-game usually streak for teams to pick up 4, 5, 6, 7 games unless you have a colossal collapse. That's I'm curious to see that. We were talking about this before the show. On the other end of the spectrum, I mean, my God, the Giants. Rafael Devers couldn't be. It's clearly not his fault, but he's partially to blame because he's on the team and he's part of the lineup. But they haven't
yeah.
scored
Do you want me to
runs
read the
at
stat?
all since they got him.
Yeah. I was gonna say on the flip side, the Giants are 13-22, an MLB worst record since they acquired Rafi Devers. Only the Pirates have scored less runs in that time period, and they're the team that scored 16 against the Rockies on Friday night. We just talked about. So
Right, right.
shout out to the Giants though. They won 12-4 today against the Mets, and Rafi homered. Could be that turnaround or that time for them, but in the
Well, you
NL
gotta. I
West,
mean,
in the NL West,
yeah,
like they at least you don't have much time to make that turnaround with in
right,
August.
right. Yeah. No, they're I think 9 back in the wild card. Not just 9 back in their division, but 9 back in the wild card.
Yeah.
So
And the NL is significantly more cutthroat for that wild
yeah,
card, I feel like, within the American League right now. It feels like it's whoever is not going to place above. If the Blue Jays can stay atop the AL East, it's going to be the Red Sox or the Yankees in one of those two spots, it feels like at this point.
right. Yeah, right now you're looking at Red Sox, Yankees, Mariners, with the Rangers 2 and the Guardians 3, the Royals 3.5, and Tampa back at 5.
I still am holding out hope for my Rangers pick, but yeah, I don't know. With
Oh, that's
Houston getting
doable. I mean,
swept,
I think the Kelly trade was kind of a big thing, and they've got some guys flipping in and out of the rotation. I think with Kelly coming in, I think you're going to see Rocker Lighter move out of the rotation. They're probably going to be Kumar Rocker will move into a leverage situation in the bullpen. That Merrill Kelly, don't go to sleep on that. Is a deal that could have an impact.
Yeah, I mean I liked Merrill Kelly as a part of that run for,
Yeah,
ironically, the Diamondbacks against the
the
Rangers at the
Rangers.
end of it all.
Yep, yep.
Um,
Hey, we want to call out that big dude in Philly. Schwarber hit a bomb today to Ty Ohtani. That Duran save today came on the heels of Sanchez 8 scoreless, by the way, who's I think he's 10-3 now. Um, and
yeah, he's ten
definitely
and three with like a 2.7, 2.5
right.
ERA.
And then Skeens gave up a career worst 4 runs yesterday, getting beat by the Rockies of all teams. Um, and I think you got to start talking about Sanchez in the Cy Young talk in the National League, not just Zach Wheeler.
I was looking at the Marlins thing you mentioned. The Marlins are 25 and 24 all time against New York. That makes Miami the only MLB team with a winning record against the all-time 27-time world champion Yankees. That's hilarious.
Yep, every team has one, and it's
Marlins,
unexplainable.
Dodgers, Nationals, and then Tigers and Cardinals are tied. That's crazy. Everyone is sub 500 against the Yankees,
Yep,
though.
yep.
That's funny. Speaking of the Yankees, though, I did have that. Did you see Aaron Boone talking about that anytime, like, because they've lost 3 games, and every time you lose more than 2 games, it's a story in New York. And he's like, it comes with the territory. I love watching him answer stuff like that because he's just
Yes.
so tired of it.
Yep.
Like at this
Yep.
point, what has he been there now? 5 years? He's been there for a long time.
Yeah, he's been there a while, bro. And
So he's had
you
enough
know how
of it,
much
and he's
I
getting into his curmudgeony, almost
yeah
Bill Belichickian era of I'm done. I'm kind of done with this shit. So
yeah from the our guys are savages in that box to he's been ejected I think more than any major league umpire, which really blows me away because Aaron is not that guy. But I watch him and I can just hear him. I can hear his voice and know he's funny as hell. So some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth is good stuff. Hey, Julio Rodriguez, go having a non-Rodriguez year, but homers for his 20th. He's the first player in history with 2020 in his first 4 career seasons. That's pretty impressive. And then Miz apparently got a line drive off the shin the other day, and he's out for. He said that he thought he'd miss his next 2 starts. I know teams hate when players do that,
he
but
said he's look they're just being precautionary and looking
yeah,
out for him.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you
But
got anything else?
no, the Rockies put their closer on the DL with an elbow strain, and yeah, I wanted to mention real quick. I'm not going to name names, but a couple teams have reached out. And I have meetings this week with a couple of major league franchises, so kind of fired up about that. Not really have any idea what that means, um, but they've called meetings, and I'm going to go. So that
Stay
should be
tuned.
exciting. Yeah, yeah. You'll hear it for first.
Do you wanna guess teammate before we get
Let's
out of
guess
here?
the teammate.
You wanna guess how many of these we've done by now? This is gonna be 29.
Really?
Yeah. We've done Craig Counsell, Mike Lieberthal, Greg Jeffries, Tony Womack, Jason Varitek, Danny Batista, John Olrud, Mark Bellhorn, Bobby Abreu, Jacoby Ellsbury, Alex Gonzalez, Lyle Overbay, Mark Grace, Dave Hollins, Luis Gonzalez, Iggy Morandini, Brady Anderson, Trot Nixon, Bronson Arroyo, Manny Ramirez, Doug Glanville, uh, Todd Pratt, Jay Bell, J.D. Drew, Reggie Sanders, Dale Murphy, Mickey Tettleton.
Last 2 have been like way back box.
Throwbacks, yeah.
All
Do
right,
with
let's do
that
it.
do with that information what you will. But this is Guess Your Teammate. We have 5 clues for a former teammate of my dad's, ranging from very vague to very obvious. The first clue. I am a 15-year MLB vet playing for 5 MLB franchises. Despite 11 of those years in the National League, my stop with you was on an American League team.
Pass.
Second clue. I was a Silver Slugger infielder who gave you a decent fight over my 25 plate appearances against you. batting 333 in my career, including a 429 average in 14 at bats in 2003.
Faced
Any teammates you can think of that kind of owned you for a little bit.
I faced him in 2003.
He hit 333 over 25 plate appearances in his career off you, including a 429 average in 14 at bats in '03, being like the big where that 333 comes from.
Right. So my guess is he's on an NLS team at that time.
Yeah, 14 at bats in 2003 gives you a little hint.
Won a Silver Slugger, NLS team. Pass.
All right, third clue. Although teammates on the Red Sox and earning one of my two All-Star selections while there, I never captured a World Series, much less appeared in the postseason. Only 2 times in my entire career.
I don't have the vaguest clue right now.
I knew this was a good one. If you don't get it on this next clue, I think I got you here.
All right. Next clue.
In 2005, in the offseason, I was traded to Boston from San Diego for your friend and teammate, Doug Mirabelli. Oh, come on.
Oh,
No, you don't have it. Nope.
catcher. Bard. Josh Bard.
Eh.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, go ahead.
You want the last clue?
Yep.
I hit my first walk-off home run on Patriots Day, April 17th, 2006, against the Mariners, with 2 out in the bottom of the ninth.
Oh, I think you might have got me.
Do you
What
want
was
to know it?
Give me the last clue. Clue 4.
In 2005, in the offseason, I was traded to Boston from San Diego for your friend and teammate Doug Mirabelli.
He came to Boston for Doug Mirabelli. Oh man, infielder, won a Silver Slugger.
2-time
Hit me,
All-Star.
hit me well.
One time while on your team, he was an All-Star.
Oh man,
I think I
not
got
Gus.
you.
You got me. You got me.
Mark Loretta.
No way. Wow.
333 off you in his career.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's like he's probably
Very,
in high company there.
very, very
You know,
good
with
player.
of guys over 10 plate appearances against you, like sure, there's probably a guy who was 1 for 3 off you at 333, but Mark Loretta over 25 plate appearances, he walked 1 time, so 24 at bats, had 8 hits, a double, 2 home runs, and 2 RBIs. A guy who hit 5 home runs and was an all-star selection hit 2 home runs off you in 24 at bats. That just goes to show how you approached pitching. Seriously though, like you'll take a Mark Loretta solo shot
Yeah.
in a 2-1 loss, you know? Like it's just he was a very cuz I was older, obviously. I was 11 years old. I remember him
Right.
being there even though it was only a year, brief time. But and then obviously being on the Padres and in your division for a while, I'd heard his name a bunch. So I
Yeah.
knew him before coming to Boston. If you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, hit subscribe, hit follow. Uh, if you hit us on follow on Spotify, you'll get updates with the episode coming out on Tuesday, Sunday, and Friday. So thanks for following, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on Tuesday.